So, Winged Master. This bird right here. The hardest boss in Atelier Aisha, and very notorious for being one of the most difficult bosses in the entire Atelier series, actually. Um, so a few days ago, I decided I would try to beat it. I've never actually fought the super bosses in Aisha before, so I thought it would be a fun time. And I've been around the Atelier community for quite a while, and this boss is just really infamous, right? I've heard a lot of things about it, that it takes 20, 30, even 40 minutes to fight. It's just a slog, it's really rough. And so I was like, cool, yeah, I'll try that. So I started a new game on hard, because I wanted to fight it on hard. I go through the whole game, get to a few months left, and I start theory crafting. And I sort of had a secondary goal in mind when preparing for this boss, where I didn't want to just defeat it. I wanted to demolish it, right? So that's kind of what I did. I guess I can go over my setup, and after I do that, there'll just be footage of the fight. So yeah, let's do that real quick. I have the standard party right here. Aisha, Eurus, and Linka. It's pretty normal as a party for this game. Eurus is very, very overpowered. He has Hunter Raid as a skill, which is the only skill in the game that says it does big damage. You can see the description at the bottom left. Deal big physical damage to a target. So this skill does the most damage in the game. He also has two really good passives, one that increases accuracy and one that increases crit damage. So Eurus is just great. And then Linka she does good damage. She has a passive that increases her crit damage, but overall she's not special like Eurus, but her damage is good. I'm not actually sure who's the best between her, Marion, and Keith, and you probably can't go wrong with any of them. So, how do we start scaling damage in this game? Well, there's 4 main stats that you want to use to scale damage. Attack. You can see Eurus's attack is 119. That's pretty high for this game. Numbers don't get super big. And then there's critical damage, skill power, and then elemental damage. So damage plus F, I, and L for fire, ice, and lightning. Skill power, crit, and elemental damage all cap at 100. So I have them all basically at 100 with skill power a little lower. And then yeah, attack. So the gear, it's pretty standard glass cannon ultimate gear for Aisha. For the weapon, I have red power, which adds elemental damage, attack, skill damage, and then glass power, which will give the last little bit of crit damage needed and some attack. It says skill power, it gives +5 attack. For the armor, I'm using scale plate because it gives an attack bonus. And then just the same properties as the weapon, except instead of glass power, there's spirit specific. This guarantees crits against elemental and alchemic monsters, which Winged Master is one of those. Then for the accessories, Dragon Scale Icon is the best accessory in the game because of ruler possession. Equip item with this effect to receive the same benefits as if character was a higher level large effect. This adds so much damage, it is unreal. The rest of the effects are just elemental damage, 25 each. And then on accessories, you can actually stack the same property multiple times, unlike with weapons and armor. So we have 3 red power and 2 skill enhance. And then Soul Trap Chain, same properties. It adds crit damage, and it also adds attack based on level. So just a very good damage item. And every character has the exact same gear. Aisha has a rainbow shirt because she can't equip the scale plate, but other than that, gear's all the same. So that gear is pretty standard for Aisha ultimate gear, I would say. It's very glass cannon. I don't have tank Aisha that a lot of people like because she would actually ruin my strategy. So where is the real innovation I came up with to destroy this boss? Well, it's in the usable items. So first, we have Forbidden Capsule. This item's absolutely broken. Everyone uses it because of force backup. You can use Forbidden Capsule on a character with force backup, and it will give them multi-action, which means on their next turn, they get 2 extra turns. This item is actually so broken that the other super boss, Dragon Master, immediately kills anyone you use it on. It's very funny. So it makes that boss hard in a different way from Winged Master. But yeah, this item's really, really good. You can also chain them on Aisha because they work a bit differently on Aisha than other characters. Because what it does is when you use it on Aisha, she gets 2 extra turns after, but then she will also get 2 extra turns on her next turn. And you can only use 1 Forbidden Capsule on Aisha per turn, but if you have a turn with 2 extra turns and you use Forbidden Capsule on the last turn, you'll get 2 more turns. And you can just chain them forever that way, so you will get 5 turns every time Aisha gets a turn. 5 actions, right? So Forbidden Capsule is very good. That basically allows you to chain Forbidden Capsules on Aisha and on every other character every single turn, just for huge damage increases. As for the properties, we have High Speed level 3, which just reduces wait time after using. Light of Life. Light of Life is probably the most busted property in the game. Basically, when you have Light of Life on a healing or buff item and you use it on a character, it means next time an attack would put them to 0 health, instead they live with 1 HP. So you don't need defensive stats in this game as long as you have full uptime on Light of Life. Then we have Explosiveness. Explosiveness is kind of a weird property. What it says is wait time after an action shortens by a lot for a certain length of time. That doesn't really say what it does very well. What it actually does is it gives your characters a buff with a decent chance of getting quick after an action on their turn. And what quick does is it just lowers their wait time by a flat amount, so they can take another turn sooner after. It's not amazing, you could go without it, but it's still it's still good, right? So you don't lose anything by not having it. And then Mythic Potency. Temporarily increases all stats. The higher the level, the more effective it is. This description's just wrong. Straight up, this description is wrong. Little thing about Aisha mechanics. Mythic Potency is the only source of the level up buff in the game. So what it actually does is increases your character's level, which has the same effect as increasing all of your character's stats, but it stacks with other effects that increases your character's stats, because it's a level up buff and not a stat up buff. So Mythic Potency is very good. That's the Forbidden Capsule. Really solid item. And so next we have the real innovation I made, the Power Totem. I don't think anyone's ever seen this item used before. I would be surprised. I've never seen it used before. It is very strong because of this power spell. Temporarily boosts attack, large effect. And it's large. It's like probably 15 to 20% base, but here's the thing. It scales with quality, so it's 120 quality, and it also scales with item power. Not skill power from like your gear, but item power on the properties. So we have monster size on it 5 times, which increases power by 50%, but also increases wait time by 50%. So it's actually very funny. When you use this item, Aisha's turn will go all the way to the bottom of the bar, but it actually doesn't matter, because if you use it during an extra turn granted by Forbidden Capsule, she just gets an extra turn after, so the wait time doesn't get added. So with 250% item power and max quality, this item is giving roughly 70% more damage. It's very good. And so what? 2 more items, right? Himmel Shank. The Himmel Shank itself doesn't matter. It's just being used because it has a time card. This item is for debuffs. So we have Amplify Pain. What this does is this is an increased damage taken debuff. It says it slightly increases damage inflicted by skills. That's kind of correct, because that is what it does. But basically, it inflicts a debuff that makes enemies take 10% more damage from attacks and skills. Very good. And then we also have Ability Decline, which temporarily weakens all stats on enemies. There's a few sources of this in the game. Most people use Soul Words, which is something you can put on your gear, and when your characters attack, it'll lower stats. And all stats includes defense and resistance. So basically, it's more damage for you, right? You want to keep this up at all times so that the enemy takes more damage. But Ability Decline is the best version of this debuff. It's better than the one from Scent Bag, it's better than Soul Words. So this is just for debuffs, it's for Amplify Pain and Ability Decline, and it creates a time card. And then we have the Needleless Shot. This is what I'm using for my healing item. Most people, most guides say to use Hell Soup. I think Hell Soup is bad because it is single target. It's probably better just for like mass healing throughput, but I don't care about that because all that matters is that the characters are at higher than 1 HP so that Light of Life can save them when they would die again. And the reason why I'm using the shot is because it's AoE. It doesn't hit the entire field, but it'll hit every character on the same position. So yeah, just auto-activate on that, so whenever Aisha gets hit, she's probably losing all her health, which means this is probably activating. Revives from KO, just in case. Light of Life, as explained earlier. Time Power, which makes it a time card, so the effect will repeat 3 times. And that's basically it for this. It doesn't give any buffs, because we don't want it to overwrite our other buffs. So yeah, very, very just solid healing item. And that's it for the items. Overall, all of these buffs and debuffs allow you to basically just... It's so much damage. It is so much damage. And then on top of that, there's some other just strategy tweaks that I figured out using the setup that you'll see in the battle. But basically, chaining forbidden capsules, abusing their properties of the extra turns to basically take even more turns than you would using them like in a very straightforward way. It's all very cool. The damage output is honestly really insane for this game. And yeah, that's about it. Hope you enjoy the fight. If you like the video, remember to subscribe to the channel for more Atelier content, and I'll see you guys next time.
どうだ。 任務再開します。
そろそろ仕上げといこうか。
全準備完了。いつでも行きます。
そろそろ仕上げといこうか。いつまでも好きにはさせない。
行動をやめなさい。
そろそろ仕上げといこうか。好きにはさせない。そろそろ仕上げといこうか。
全準備完了。いつでも行きます。
そろそろ仕上げといこうか。
全準備完了。上空にいつでも行きましょう。攻撃します。全準備完了。会長をいつでも行きます。全準備完了。いつでも行きます。
仕上げといこうか。いつまでも好きにはさせない。
行動をやめなさい。
いつまでも好きにはさせない。実りあるこの